We are in the midst of a global food crisis, and it's getting worse. The number of people facing high levels of food insecurity has more than doubled since 2020. Millions of people are going to bed hungry. Increasing climate extremes will cause more crops to fail as global food demand rises. We need to use every tool we have to grow more food. Nuclear science offers incredible, innovative tools to grow stronger, healthier, safer crops and to protect the food we need to live. This week, we are announcing a brand new OIEA-FAO initiative, Atoms4Food. The tools provided by nuclear science help farmers to use their scarce water resources more effectively, and scientists to create more climate-resilient and nutritious crops. They allow us to track seafood contamination and accurately monitor malnutrition, among many, many other things. The OIEA works in close cooperation with the Food and Agriculture Organization through our unique joint center. Atoms4Food brings together knowledge gathered during our decades of experience, helping countries get the best out of their soils, their crops, their coastlines, and to feed their growing populations. Atoms4Food will provide 7 specific services. Number 1, the Atoms4Food assessment mission. We will work closely with our member states to map their status, needs and activities through an in-country mission. Together with each country, we will determine their priority needs and develop a tailor-made proposal to address their food security challenges with the support of nuclear techniques. Number 2, the Atoms4Food Crop Variety Improvement Service. We will build country-specific crop improvement programs on an assessment of major crops, agricultural zones, diseases and pests, farmer and consumer preferences, and prevailing gaps in capacities. These will use the tried and tested nuclear method of plant mutation breeding to create more robust and nutritious crops. Number 3, the Atoms4Food Soil and Water Management and Crop Nutrition Service. We will use the precision of nuclear and isotopic science to gather information on soil fertility, major crops and their average yield, availability of fertilizer and water irrigation systems, and the country's farming practices for each crop. Number 4, the Atoms4Food Animal Production and Health Service. We will provide a scientific assessment on the current epidemiological situation of animal diseases, interventions in place for prevention, diagnosis and control, laboratory and other veterinary service capacities, gaps in the veterinary service and interventions. Number 5, the Atoms4Food Insect Pest Control Service. This will address problems with insect pests that affect agricultural production by using the sterile insect technique, or SIT, among others. This requires the collection of all existing information about the pest distribution and population and the infrastructure needed to evaluate the feasibility of using this nuclear technology to address the problem. Number 6, the Atoms4Food Safety and Control Service. We will feed into country food safety control programs based on an assessment of laboratory capabilities, the ability to conduct surveillance of food hazards, the prevalence of foodborne diseases, all of which affect the marketability and exportability of foods and much more. And finally, 7, the Atoms4Food Public Health Nutrition Service. We will strengthen the capacity to use evidence on the nutritional value of foods and diet quality derived from the use of stable isotope techniques to inform impactful nutrition programming. This will be modeled on best practices and success stories accumulated over the years under the OIEA-supported projects. Atoms4Food has started and is allowing us to double cassava crop yields in Africa, protect banana plantations in South America, increase the yield of rice in Asia, use less water for crops around the world, and so much more. Join us. Support Atoms4Food.